Hello, everybody. It's Debbie with Tailored by Debbie. Come on in. Come on in. Happy Tuesday. Let's see if I'm live over here. Come on in. Refresh my page and see if I can see myself over here. Here we are. Okay. Let's see if I can see them. Yep, there we are. All right. I can hear myself. Come on in. We're going to work with some we're going to work on some Christmas ornaments today. There's my chat bot telling me what to do again. Mhm. There's my chat bot, and I forgot to send out a telegram. My bad, y'all. My bad. Okay, let's see. Hey, Gail. Hello, Brittany. Hey, Tracy. How are y'all doing today? Yes, my cousin Gail's in the house, and sweet Brittany's in the house. Thank you, Tracy, for being here, honey. I appreciate you getting me shared over into the group. This is my segment of Craft Round the Clock. If you haven't already joined the group, please be sure to pick that link up in my description and join the group so you can watch wonderful creators all day long in one place. So we are going to work on some Christmas ornaments. These Christmas ornament wood kits came from my friend Julie with Wood Kits by Julie. I've already decorated a few of them. And this one I did with decoupage paper from Dixie Belle. And my friend Tanya with Tayani D, Timeless Treasures by Tanya, hooked me up with the pretty rice paper that I decoupaged onto these two. And then this Christmas tree, all these wood kits, all these ornaments came from Wood Kits by Julie. Hello, Diana. Hello, Beverly. Hey, Judy Caruso. How are y'all doing? So I've already done those. We're going to work on a snowflake, a star, and a little nutcracker or tin soldier, but he's kind of a nutcracker to me. How is everybody doing? Hey, Lori, how are you doing today, my friend? Let me get some parchment paper, y'all. A little bit of parchment paper. Hey, Amanda. Amanda Inslee, how are you doing? Hey, Doodle, how are you, sister? You love the bear and the dog? Well, I know my sister Doodle is going to like the dog that we did. Isn't that cute? Isn't that precious? That's a Dixie Belle rice paper, sister. I showed the package yesterday on my live. Going good. I'm glad to hear that, Lori. Okay, guys, we are going to decoupage some napkins onto these. I'm not a real skilled painter, so I wanted to show y'all if you get these little wood kits like I have here, and you're not a real skilled painter on this nutcracker, I want to put a napkin on it. And one of my sisters gifted me these beautiful snowflake beverage napkins. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that have a beautiful pattern on it? I thought that would be pretty on the nutcracker. Now, I thought about using it on the snowflake, but I've got something different that I want to use on it. And I feel like we need to use a small pattern. It's got plaid in the background. Oh, thank you so much, Brittany. The Skin Cancer Center called me, but I was on a live with my mentor group, so I couldn't answer. And I called back and had to leave a message. So, hey, Pat. So I'm sure I'll be finding out the results of my biopsy. I told him, please call me after 2:30 because I know I have this segment coming up. So hopefully we'll know something about that this afternoon. Y'all, we've got 3 layers of napkin here, and I was able to just lift it up, but sometimes you can't. And a little tip for removing, I'll save these in case we need to use them on the next napkins. You need to get down to just the 1 ply, and you'll know when you're down to 1 ply because you can kind of see the colored napkin on both sides. Because if you don't, when you Mod Podge it onto your surface, that top layer might just lift right up off. 20 peeps in the house. Thank y'all so much for being here with me today. All right, we're going to get us just a paintbrush over here to Mod Podge on with. Just trying to decide which one I want to use. I think I'm going to use one of these. I like to use these, and I've got my homemade Doodle Podge. My sister Doodle taught me how to make homemade Mod Podge. And if you want the recipe, reach out to my sister Doodle Denise Designs, and she can tell you her magic recipe. It's not my recipe, y'all. It's hers. But it's basically, I guess I could tell Doodles. It's basically 3 parts white glue to 1 part distilled water. Hey, Kim Marie, how are you feeling, honey? How's that ankle doing? Hey, Ray, 45. Wow, we jumped up quick, didn't we? Thank y'all so much for getting us sprinkled out. That really does help our page. So that's what I'm using. I like it. It's a little bit thinner than traditional Mod Podge, and it doesn't get all those glue boogers in it. Thank you, Sister Diana, for asking everybody to follow. Y'all, if you're not already following all of my sisters in here and Crafty Brothers, if we got any of those in here, either live or on the replay, y'all please give them a follow. And My Sweet Home Living is our sweet Tracy Campbell. She runs Craft Round the Clock, so make sure you're following her page because she works so hard for us, y'all, to keep this Craft Round the Clock TV going around the clock, right? So y'all be sure you're following her. All right, I'm just putting a coat of Mod Podge, of my Doodle Podge, in or on these one side of the ornaments. Some call it owl paste. Pat, I didn't know that. That's the first time I've ever heard it called owl paste. I like the name of that. That's cool. I call it Doodle Podge because she taught me the recipe. So this is Doodle Denise Designs recipe for homemade Mod Podge. So I call it Doodle Podge. I want to give her credit because she taught me how to make it. I never knew you could make your own. But I do like that there's, none of the glue boogers and all that stuff, not even on my lid. There's no glue boogers or anything on my lid. 60 peeps in the house. Hello, everybody. We've got several people in need of prayer. Let me mention those before I forget. Of course, Roger, Doodle Denise Designs husband, Roger, Mr. Fuchsia, he is going to the doctor tomorrow about the place they took off his vocal cords, and we're hoping they're going to find out some results and what the next steps are. We're waiting for some test results back on my husband, JT, and I'll, share more about that once we have more information. And I just heard from my mama that her back has been hurting, and y'all, she had back surgery on my birthday years ago, and she said it's hurting pretty bad, and she's worried that her back surgery may have come undone or something's going on. So her name is Beverly. So please lift her up in prayer because, that's got to be kind of scary because, the idea of having to face something to fix it if back surgery has come undone is not a fun thing to think about. And I don't like the idea of her being in constant pain. So remember her. Hey, Keffany. Hey, Mary Snyder. How are y'all doing? How's everybody doing? And our sweet friend Tina with T and D Creations lost her brother this week, y'all. He was taken to the hospital because he couldn't breathe, and he did not make it. He went into the arms of Jesus. So y'all remember, yes, Brittany, y'all remember our sweet Tina Mr. Roger, also known as Mr. Fuchsia. That's how Roger says the word fuchsia pink, so we all call him Mr. Fuchsia. Just, kind of an endearing word or term. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and dry. I'm going to dry this because napkins are really fragile. And the great thing about using the iron-on method, which is what I'm using today, is you dry the Mod Podge. So when you're laying your napkin down, you can pick it up and move it if you don't like the placement of it without it tearing your napkin. And then we're going to take an iron and another little piece of parchment paper and iron the napkin down on this side. The funeral is this Friday. Tina sent me the sweetest picture of her brother and his wife, and it was just a beautiful picture. I know her heart is breaking. We just lost my brother, my youngest brother, Stan, in December of last year, and then my other brother 3 years before that. So it's just me and my mama now, and my bonus dad, and then I have a bonus sister and brother from my bonus dad. But I'm the last of our bloodline because neither one of my aunts were able to have children or didn't want children. My one aunt did want, but wasn't able to. And I think my other aunt just knew she would not make a good mama or didn't want to be a mama. And that's my aunt that lives out in California, Auntie D, that's in here. I believe she wanted children, but just wasn't able to. So she spoiled us rotten when we were growing up. Well, I say I'm the last of my bloodline. I'm not, because my brother has a daughter, Michael. He had a daughter, Emily, and now she has a son. So that's Mike's grandson. But Stan never had any children. And then also I had Brittany, and she's going to continue on our bloodline too. So, and she's had 2 children. So I guess of my generation, I'm the last. But I didn't say that right, because we are continuing it on through our children. And then JP has beautiful Kelly, and I call her my daughter. She's my bonus daughter, but I love her like she's my own. And my bonus daddy too. I love him and my sister and brother through my bonus dad. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this away because there's still some wet glue, and I don't want that napkin. We'll use this as our wet piece of parchment. Thank y'all for those prayers. Thank y'all so much, y'all. I just love that we are a praying community, and we can share our needs with y'all, and y'all lift them up to the Lord. And okay, I'm going to use this one on our little tin soldier or our nutcracker. And I'm just going to lay it on there. Trying not to waste any of it. I want to kind of put it where the pattern, I think, will look pretty. All right, I'm just going to lay it like that. Thank y'all for those hearts. Y'all are so sweet. When you do things like that, it really does help our page. It lets the Book of Faces know that you like it, our content, you enjoy what you're seeing. Here, let me iron this one. I don't want to iron it on these others. I better get that out of the way so I don't iron it on them by mistake. So I got a different napkin, and we're going to use for those. Different one. Okay, 10 to 15 seconds is good to get the napkin on there. And hold, please. I think my sander is still over here from our meetup. Maybe not. Oh, no. Did I leave my sander? Oh, no. I've got some sandpaper. I might have left my sander, y'all. I can't remember. Okay. We can use a piece of sandpaper. But what I want to do first is kind of cut around it with some scissors. I could have sworn I had that sander last night. Don't know me. The crafting gremlin probably hid it from me somewhere. My little gator sander. I already had to buy a second one because I lost it I lost it. Hey, Denise Fertucci Gross, how are you doing? Welcome on in, y'all. Welcome on in. Okay, let's go ahead and sand. Just fold the sandpaper in half. So you don't have to have one of those fancy sponges, y'all. You can use just a piece of sandpaper. You can also take a lighter and burn around it if you're feeling brave. Okay. I just got back from my meetup and we had a lot of fun. I met some new friends that I've never met before, and I got to see some friends that I met last year but haven't seen since then. So it was a really good time. Let me go ahead and I'm going to just take this sandpaper and kind of go between the legs where that split is. And just sand it. Let's see. Isn't that cute, y'all? Look at that. That is so cute. I like the small. So if you're not a good painter like me, you can just put a pretty pattern on it. And there's some between the arms. So I'm going to try to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take one of these little, what do you call that thing? Cricut tool. I'm going to poke between there. And just kind of drag it through because it's a real skinny place where his arm is. I think that'll be easier than trying to get in there with sandpaper. Just kind of scrape through there. Y'all remember our sweet Wendy with Simply Bewitching Crafts by Wendy. She has a broken vertebrae in her back, and she recently went back to the doctor and is having to still not lift and not do, and it's not healed all the way yet, so she's still having to behave. And our sweet Diana with Crazy Granny Creations by Diana is still recovering from her surgery and needs to behave and not overdo as she starts feeling better. Okay, guys, there's that one. So let's do the same thing on the back of it in case it spins around. You have a nutcracker napkin. I looked through all mine, Kimmery, and I didn't have any. Oh, I wish I would have had one. But I didn't. Did not have a nutcracker napkin. But that's an excellent idea, sister. I looked through all my napkins this morning, hoping I would have one, but I did not. Okay, let's get our Mod Podge over here again. Hey, Amy, no worries, honey. You're never late. Come on in, my friend. How are you doing today? Okay. JT came back from Florida. He's got he keeps a chronic cough because of some medicine that he's on, but this cough is a little bit different. It's kind of a wet sounding cough, and he had it a couple weeks ago, and they tested him for all the things, and all the things were negative except for he has an upper respiratory infection. So we're thinking it just did not completely take care of it. So we've got to call back into the doctor for him on that, and we're hoping either they'll, call in another round of the antibiotics or see him, whatever he thinks they need to do. Hey, Anita. Diana, what is that, sister? Looks like the hamburger menu times 2 or 3. I'm hanging in there, y'all. I'm hanging in there. We have a lot going on, and I'm not going to lie to you. Hey there, Maureen. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little bit overwhelming with all that's going on, and all the things my friends are going through, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But I'm thankful to know that God is in control, right? And he's going to be there to help us through no matter what we need, what it is we're going to need to do. So I'm thankful for that beyond anything else. Um, and we just keep praying and asking for God to help us through whatever it is that we're going to have to face. And y'all, for our sweet friend Roger, y'all pray that he'll get his voice back, because they took a place off of in his throat, and it was attached to his vocal cords, so he's not able to speak much right now above a whisper. And we're praying that he's going to get the ability to speak back. So y'all, please keep that in your prayers, because he's a preacher, and he needs to be able to talk so he can tell others about Jesus, right? So just pray, 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 pray that he can get his voice back. All right. So I've just cut the front side. Now we're going to sand it off. Thank you so much for sending those prayers up, y'all. Okay. On our meetup, we did some resin, some crafting with resin. And y'all, I'm not experienced in resin, and I learned I'm not a resin girl for sure, because I way over poured my molds that I had, and I was trying to be so careful, but I over poured them, and I thought, well, I can just trim it up with an X-Acto knife. Well, that was harder. It was that fast cast stuff that turns white. That was harder to do than I thought it was. To like take an X-Acto knife and cut where I over poured it. And then I got some scissors out and was trying to cut it. And then I didn't cut it straight. They ended up looking like Fido's rear end. And everybody else's resin stuff was turning out beautiful. That's right, Denise. We got to hear that happy birthday from Roger, don't we? He has the most unique version of the happy birthday song, y'all. And my birthday's coming up on October 26th. So I selfishly want him to be back to full singing ability by October 26th. But if not, I can just remember hearing it the last time he sang to me. I have the privilege and honor of being the very first person in the Facebook world that he sang his version of Happy Birthday to ever. So on Facebook. Now, I think he's sung it like at work and different things before for people, but in the crafting community, I'm the first one. And Doodles can vouch for me on that. I'm not just making that up, y'all. Fast casting's hard for you to do, Cindy. It was a mystery. I didn't get to pick the molds I wanted to use or whatever. They were all beautiful though. Don't get me wrong. They were all gorgeous. And I had some really, really pretty, like trim type things. The molds were all turned upside down, and we had to go up there and pick one. And then we had to pick a mystery, it was like gift bag with our box and other crafting supplies in it. So we didn't know what we were going to get. And mine were teeny tiny and intricate. And I wish I would have gotten like one big mold or something for my first, because I definitely way was out of my league with that little teeny tiny intricate stuff. But it helped me know I'm not a resin girl, not a resin girl, but I want to learn more. There's several girls in Craft Around the Clock that are very good, like Doodles and Lynn with Lynn's Craft and Creation. She's amazing with resin. And my sister Shay with Shay Shed. You're not a fan of fast cast, Brenda? Hey, sweet Brenda. I was first. See, Doodles is vouching for me. I did not make it up. I was the first one that our sweet Roger sang his version of Happy Birthday to in the crafting world. So I will forever have that honor and hold that title. So, um, I'm special. I'm special, y'all. I'm over here crimping my hair. I'm special. Okay. I know I'm teasing, but I do feel special because of that. That's a pretty big honor. All right. So look how stinking adorable. Now I need to hold it up to the light and find where that hole is and poke a hole through it so we can hang it on a string. And you can kind of feel it too with your finger. And then I'm just poking a hole straight through. You know, it would be good. It's one of those wood skewer things. Do I have one in here? Well, this would work. This little metal thing. One of these would work. Once you kind of find where the hole is, poke it through. Thank you, sister. Y'all are so sweet, saying I'm special. There we go. I love it. Okay. I do think I want to put another coat of the Doodle Podge on it, and I'm going to let it dry. And I'm not worried about it because napkins are so delicate. I'm not worried about it wrinkling because if it does, I can put parchment paper over it and just iron it again. Okay? Because y'all know I don't like wrinkles. I don't like wrinkles. On that note, today's Amazon Prime Day #1, the 7th and 8th, Amazon Prime deals for the fall. And I posted my face cream again, y'all. Last time I bought it was July 2024, and I'm still using it. It's a little bit pricey, but I love it. It's called Confidence in a Cream. It's what I use on my face. Some of y'all have asked me, you know, what do you use on your face? Because I'll be 61 this month. And, you know, I feel like my skin looks pretty good for 61 years old. But that's all I use. And then I've got a new thing that I use on my neck. I used to use it on my neck. But I've got something called Go Pure tightening cream for my neck and chest area. If you want the information on that, let me know. I can send it to you. All right, so we put that on there. I'm just going to let that dry, set it aside, and then we'll paint Mod Podge on the other side and flip it over. And y'all look, I still have the majority of that beverage napkin to use on something else. And I have 2 more. So put those over there. Now, the star. I found a neat napkin at Hobby Lobby last year, and I bet they'll have them again this year. They have them. They've had them the last several years. So I'm hoping if you want to get some star ornaments, and they also sell star ornaments at the Dollar Tree too, that I think this would work on. But if you want to get these, look how thick these are from Julie, Wood Kits by Julie. You can get, I'm sure she could probably cut this same set of ornaments that I have if you want them to. Okay, this one, look at this cool napkin. Peppermint. We're going to make this look like a peppermint star. I'll put my elbow in the Mod Podge. So let me put this wet one back over here. Now, some of the girls at the meetup had a quilted, real pretty napkin, so I loved it. But I wanted to try something different. And because this wood is so light, I'm not painting it white. Let's see how it comes out. If you paint your surface white, it will help. Like the white on this napkin probably would be a lot truer and more bright. But this is what it looks like. It's got 4 pieces of peppermint on one of these napkins. And it was regular price $6.99 from Hobby Lobby. And you get 50 napkins, y'all. 50 napkins. And I bought them after Christmas last year. So I don't know, probably 75% off, I would think, of $6 is what I paid for them. But it does have more than one fly. You have these peppermint napkins too, Kimmery? Sister, we think a lot alike, don't we? Oh, I've got some tape. Okay, so what I do, I'll take pieces of painter's tape and put it on each side, and it just makes it easier. And this is only a 2-ply napkin. If you still have the packaging, a lot of times it'll tell you how many plies it is. This one doesn't tell me. Yo, it says 3-ply. Okay, I'm thinking it's 2-ply, but maybe this pulled 2. Oh, it is. See, we pulled 2-ply off at one time. So if you still have your packaging, usually it will tell you. See right there, it shows you 3-ply on there. Okay, Cindy, y'all, be sure to stick around because Create with Cindy's Creations is up after me. And if you join the group at the end of my segment, all you have to do is refresh your page. If you're on a phone, you just swipe down. If you're on a computer, that little whirly arrow, you just click it and it'll refresh your page, and the next creator will be there. Put these white pieces over here. So now that we're down to one ply, you see how you can see the color well on both sides. Let me go ahead and just cut one of these circles off. So I want to do it with the center of the peppermint and the center of the star. Curious to see how this is going to come out, y'all. Okay, so we got the Mod Podge on this side. Just making sure there's no lint on the top. And I'll take my peppermint and lay it down, and I can see through the star. Just going to kind of lay it down where the center of the peppermint. And I'm looking to see how the red is going to drape across it. Okay, kind of like it like that. I think I like it like that. So I'm going to take my parchment paper and we're going to iron it. Here we go. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing today? Y'all make sure you're following all my friends. Our sweet Cindy had her page taken, and she recently told us she didn't think she was going to be able to get her old page back. So make sure you're following her. She's coming up right after me. Her new page is Create with Cindy's Creations. And I know she would appreciate it. Okay. I think that's good, y'all. I love that you can see the wood grain. I love that you can see the wood grain behind that white. So let me get a bigger piece of sandpaper. And I'm just using 100 grit since I know I've got my Gator sander somewhere. I gotta unpack it from the meet and greet. And we're just gonna sand around the edges. So simple. Easiest way to take a napkin off. I like it even better than the burn method, because the burn method sometimes leaves that black soot stuff. And y'all know I struggle with the dirty girl stuff, with the dirty distressing. And on these ornaments, oh, I just ripped it. But I think we can fix it. So I'm just going to sand it. Really careful. See where I ripped it right there on that red? Let me see before I tear that off. I'm just going to try to lay it back down. A little bit of Mod Podge on top. I'm going to dry it, and then we're going to iron it. I think it'll be all right. Just going to slide that over a little bit. Maybe we won't even be able to tell. Nothing in the crafting world has to be perfect. Okay, you don't have to be perfect. And sometimes I try to be, and I have to tell myself it doesn't have to be perfect. Let me iron it. Let's see how we do. Not bad, y'all. There's just a little. And I think I could probably touch that up with a red marker. A little bit that. See that? You can't even really tell. But isn't that cool? Doesn't that look like a peppermint star? And I didn't get it quite centered. I did not get it quite centered, y'all. So let's flip it over. Maybe we can do a little better on the back side with centering it, and we can make that the back. Right? Let's try it. Let's try it. Get all the lint off. Some Mod Podge. Hey, Kathy, how's my bestie, Quality Crafts by Kathy? She was at our meetup, y'all. She is so much fun. You have a package of these napkins, Kathy? I started to use the napkin that Lydia used that made it kind of look like a quilted star, but I wanted to try these peppermint napkins and just see, because I love red and white. And I love white and blue for Christmas too. So let me dry this. Hey, Jeannie, thank you so much, y'all. If I missed you when you came in, I'm so sorry. I will go back and rewatch my replay. And if y'all had any questions or comments that I missed, I will try to address them when I watch it. Okay. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. I need to get a dry piece out the glue. I'm looking to the side to make sure we've got it good and dry. Because if you dry it first when you're using a napkin, you can lay it down and then pick it back up. So I'm going to try to do better getting this side centered. Okay. So I'm going to focus on that more than focusing on where the swirls go. That's where I messed up. I kind of think I had it centered and then I moved it because I was wanting to get those swirls in a certain way. Still don't know if I quite got it centered, y'all. Let me see. Centered about there, and there's the center of the napkin. Okay. There again, y'all know I'm not a perfect crafter, so I'm not gonna stress 100% about that. We're just gonna go with it. We're gonna iron it. I really enjoyed painting my other three, but for these three, I thought it would be fun to try some Mod Podge. So these wood ornaments, these would make great gifts if you need gifts for like your friends or your kids' teachers. This would be a unique gift because you're using a napkin that even if somebody else made an ornament, they may not use the same napkin or the same ornament base that you make. So it's a great way to get a customized, unique gift for your family and friends. Y'all, I think I did a better job getting it centered on this one. So don't worry about where the little peppermint swirly things go. Worry more about getting it centered because I think that's going to show more than where the swirly things are. I don't know if I got it completely centered. We'll see. Y'all have to tell me. What would you think? Now you can see the white part of the peppermint because I did not paint it. It kind of looks like wood grain. But y'all, I think I did do better getting it centered, didn't I? I think these are really pretty. I do. I think they're beautiful. Here's the top because there's my hole. So I'm going to take the Cricut tool again and kind of poke it through. And then I'm going to take that silver stick, if I can find it. I put it back in the drawer. And then this is just flamingo legs from the flamingos at Dollar Tree, you know, that you put in the yard. That's what this is, y'all. And it makes a great thing to poke through the ornaments. But a skewer, you know, those kitchen wood skewers would be good too. I love it. I love it. Love the way it came out. Okay, this is the front. I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of Mod Podge on it. Set it to the side. Just kind of protects it. And then we'll look at our nutcracker. Okay, I've got about 8 more minutes. And at 2:30, Cindy, you can refresh your page and Cindy should already be there. Again, thank y'all so much for being here. If you're not already following my page, I'm Tailored by Debbie, and I do handmade designs and unique finds. Sometimes I'll go thrifting and make over stuff, and sometimes I'll go thrifting and find something I like and just resell it in my shops. Okay, here it is with the coat of Mod Podge on that side on him. And it's got just a little bit of a sheen, y'all, not much at all. On this homemade Mod Podge, it's just regular school glue, and then 1 part distilled water. And distilled water, because then it won't grow the bacteria in it. Like if you use tap water, it could have some bacteria. So that's why Doodle said to use distilled water in it when you make it. Okay, so I just put a coat on the other side. We'll set him over here to dry. And I'm going to try to get, at least y'all see, look at the pattern on these. Now these I got at that same flea market where I get doilies sometimes. Well, aren't these cute? You may be able to find them online somewhere. It's the IHR napkin brand. So let me hold that up there. They're made in Germany, which I love because my dad was born in Germany and I'm 50% German. Y'all, I decided to order the Ancestry.com kit because it's on Prime Days. It's regularly like $119 and I'm getting it for $39 on Prime Day. So if you've always wanted to do it, now's a good time to pick it up. I put a link over there in my Amazon favorites photo album, along with some other things. That's the only thing that I posted this morning that I haven't already purchased from Amazon that I'm trying, because I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't ever want to pay $119 for it. And it's on sale right now for $39. I'd like to know my medical history on my dad's side, because some of y'all know my story that my dad's mom left him and my grandpa Opa when he was a little boy. So I don't know her medical history. I don't know her if she was all German. I don't know that heritage either. So for sure. And of course, my daddy and my Opa and Oma that I knew, because my grandpa remarried, and he had a son who was my Uncle Peter. And I have 2 cousins through my uncle, and that's the family I grew up knowing, but I don't know my heritage. And depending on what all it shows, I thought about doing the health thing, but the research I've done, the health stuff isn't always accurate, and I don't want to be worrying about stuff that may not ever come to be. So I don't know that I'm gonna do that part, y'all. But I would like to know, if I'm truly 50% German, or did my dad's mom have some other stuff in there? So I'd like to know. I'd like to know. Y'all, on the meetup, they had a virtual part it was with the Sacred Treasure House. And they had a virtual part of the meetup. And Brittany, that's in the comments, she watched the virtual, and our quality priced by Kathy. One of the rooms had a crib in it, and they talked her in. She's teeny tiny, y'all. She didn't do any damage to the crib, and they talked her into getting in it. And they did a video of her acting like she was a baby, and I was dying. I mean, I was cracking up. Okay, this is a 3-ply. It was so funny. It was so funny. Kathy's a lot of fun. She is game for doing funny things, and likes to dress up on her lives, y'all, especially during the month of October. She's already started dressing up on her lives. So like I said, if you don't follow any of my friends in here, please be sure to follow their page. And you can do our chat bots for those of us that have the chat bot. Do exclamation point with the word commands, plural, no spaces. Don't put a space after the exclamation point, and that'll give you the commands that each person's chatbot has. And one of them is exclamation notify. So if you put that in, it'll supposedly, no spaces, exclamation point, and the word notify will supposedly notify you when I go live. So y'all can try that if you'd like, and do that when you're live with other creators if they have the chatbot. You can find out if they have it or not by typing in that exclamation point and the word commands with an S on the end, plural. And it'll tell you what their chatbot commands are that you can try. But you'll know if you're not following them if you just go to their page and you see the word follow. That means you're not following. Be real careful, y'all. We're trying to get the word out, especially from a phone. When you tap on, like if you're searching for someone's page to go see their page or go watch their live, if you tap on the word following, it's going to change it to follow and you'll unfollow them without even knowing it. So be really careful. I've found myself doing that on my sister Doodle's page. So I'm real careful now. I try to tap to the side of that word following so I don't unfollow any of my friends. Just, always check. Make sure you're still following your favorite creators. So you'll get to know what they're up to, right? Okay, I only got 1 minute. Let me hurry up and get this off, and then I want y'all to refresh your page and go watch our sweet Cindy. She's super talented, y'all. You will be inspired, I promise you. You go watch what she's up to today. I don't know what she's doing, but everything she does is beautiful. So let me get just last little bit off. At least you can kind of see what this one's going to look like. It's a snowflake, but it's got gingerbread stuff on it. So I like abstract. You wouldn't normally see gingerbread on a snowflake, but didn't it turn out cute? Look at that, y'all. Look at how stinking adorable. I'll be live this Friday in the Craft 30 Market. I believe my time is at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 Central. Y'all keep an eye on my page. I'll let you know for sure. I'm going to be destashing some craft supplies, guys. So if you're in need of crafting supplies, it's going to be below retail. So y'all join me on my segment Friday. Oh, thank y'all for using my chat bot. My time is up, so I'm going to go for now, and I'll see y'all Friday. And then I'm in an event on Saturday. More about that later. Love y'all, mean it, but Jesus loves you more. Bye, guys. Thanks again for joining me today.